a Wikividi Documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Prince Andrew, Duke of York. Prince Andrew, Duke of York, is the third child and second son of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. At the time of his birth, he was second in the line of succession to the British throne. As of 2018 he is sixth in line. He holds the rank of Commander and the honorary rank of Vice Admiral in the Royal Navy, in which he served as an active duty helicopter pilot and instructor and as the captain of a warship. He saw active service during the Falklands War, flying on multiple missions including anti-surface warfare, Exocet missile decoy, and casualty evacuation. In 1986, Prince Andrew married Sarah Ferguson. The couple's marriage, subsequent separation, and eventual divorce in 1996 attracted a high level of media coverage, as well as carrying out various official engagements. He served as Britain's Special Representative for International Trade and Investment until July 2011. Early life and education. Prince Andrew was born in the Belgian suite of Buckingham Palace on the 19th of February 1960, the third child and second son of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. He was baptised in the palace's music room on the 8th of April 1960 by the Archbishop of Canterbury, Geoffrey Fisher. He is the namesake of his paternal grandfather, Prince Andrew of Greece and Denmark, who died 16 years before he was born. Prince Andrew was the first child born to a reigning monarch since the birth in 1857 of Queen Victoria's youngest child, Princess Beatrice. As with his older siblings, Andrew was looked after by a governess, who was responsible for his early education at Buckingham Palace. He was sent to Haverdown School near Ascot in Berkshire. In September 1973, he entered Gordonstown, in northern Scotland, which his father and elder brother had attended before him. While there, he spent 6 months, from January to June 1977, participating in an exchange program to Lakefield College School in Canada. He left Gordonstown in July 2 years later with A-levels in English, History, Economics, and Political Science. He did not go to university, but instead entered the Britannia Royal Naval College at Dartmouth. Royal Navy. The royal household announced in November 1978 that Prince Andrew would join the Royal Navy the following year. In December he underwent various sporting tests and examinations at the Aircrew Selection Centre, at RAF Biggin Hill, along with further tests and interviews at HMS Daedalus, and interviews at the Admiralty Interview Board, HMS Sultan. During March and April 1979, the Prince was enrolled at the Royal Naval College Flight, undergoing pilot training, until he was accepted as a trainee helicopter pilot and signed on for 12 years. From the 11th of May 1979. On the 1st of September of the same year, Prince Andrew was appointed as a midshipman, and entered Britannia Royal Naval College, Dartmouth. During 1980 he also took the Royal Marines All-Arms Commando course. After passing out from Dartmouth, the Prince went on to elementary flying training with the Royal Air Force at RAF Leeming, and later, basic flying training with the Navy at HMS Seahawk, where he learned to fly the Gazelle helicopter. After being awarded his wings, he moved on to more advanced training on the Sea King helicopter, and conducted operational flying training until 1982. He joined Carrier-based Squadron 820 Naval Air Squadron, serving aboard the aircraft carrier HMS Invincible. Falklands War. The Falkland Islands, which are a British overseas territory claimed by Argentina, were invaded by Argentina on the 2nd of April 1982, an event that instigated the Falklands War. Invincible was one of the 2 operational aircraft carriers available at the time, and, as such, was to play a major role in the Royal Navy task force assembled to sail south to retake the islands. Prince Andrew's place on board, and the possibility of the Queen's son being killed in action made the British government apprehensive, and the cabinet desired that Prince Andrew be moved to a desk job for the duration of the conflict. The Queen, though, insisted that her son be allowed to remain with his ship. Prince Andrew remained on board Invincible to serve as a Sea King helicopter co-pilot, flying on missions that included anti-submarine warfare and anti-surface warfare, Exocet missile decoy, casualty evacuation, transport, and search and air rescue. He witnessed the Argentinian attack on the SS Atlantic conveyor. At the cessation of the war, Invincible returned to Portsmouth, where the Queen and Prince Philip joined other families of the crew in welcoming the vessel home. The Argentine military government reportedly planned, but did not attempt, to assassinate the prince on Mustique in July 1982, though he had brief assignments to HMS Illustrious, NAS Culross, and the Joint Services School of Intelligence. Prince Andrew remained with Invincible until 1983. Commander Nigel Ward's memoir, Sea Harrier Over the Falklands, described Prince Andrew as an excellent pilot and a very promising officer. Following his return from the Falklands War and until his marriage to Sarah Ferguson, Prince Andrew dated actress Koo Stark. Career naval officer. In late 1983, Prince Andrew transferred to RAS Portland, was trained to fly the Lynx helicopter, and was promoted to the rank of lieutenant on the 1st of February 1984, whereupon the Queen appointed him as her personal aide-de-camp. Prince Andrew served aboard HMS Brazen as a flight pilot until 1986, including deployment to the Mediterranean Sea as part of Standing NRF Maritime Group 2. He undertook the Lieutenant's Greenwich Staff Course. On the 23rd of October 1986, the Duke of York transferred to the General List, enrolled in a 4-month helicopter warfare instructor's course at NAS Yeovilton, and, upon graduation, served from February 1987 to April 1988 as a helicopter warfare officer in 702 Naval Air Squadron, NAS Portland. He also served on HMS Edinburgh as an officer of the watch and assistant navigating officer until 1989, including a 6-month deployment as part of Exercise Outback 88 to the Far East. The Duke of York served as flight commander and pilot of the Lynx S-3 on HMS Campbelltown from 1989 to 1991, during which he also acted as Force Aviation Officer to Standing NRF Maritime Group 1 while the Campbelltown was flagship of the NATO force in the North Atlantic from 1990 to 1991. He passed the Squadron Command examination on the 16th of July 1991, attended the Staff College, Camberley, the following year, and completed the Army Staff Course. He was promoted to Lieutenant Commander on the 1st of February and passed the Ship Command examination on the 12th of March 1992. From 1993 to 1994, Prince Andrew commanded the Hunt-class mine hunter HMS Cottesmore. From 1995 to 1996, the Duke was posted as senior pilot of 815 Naval Air Squadron, then the largest flying unit in the Fleet Air Arm. His main responsibility was to supervise flying standards and to guarantee an effective operational capability. He was promoted to commander on the 27th of April 1999, finishing his active naval career at the British Ministry of Defence in 2001, as an officer of the Diplomatic Directorate of the Naval Staff. In July of that year, the Duke of York was retired from the active list of the Navy. 3 years later, he was made an honorary captain, rather than the substantive rank of captain, as would be customary. On the 19th of February 2010, his 50th birthday, he was promoted to honorary Rear Admiral. 5 years later, he was promoted to honorary Vice Admiral. Relationship with Koo Stark. Prince Andrew met Koo Stark in February 1981, and they were close for some 2 years, before and after his active service in the Falklands War. Tina Brown has claimed that this was Andrew's only serious love affair. In October 1982, they took a holiday together on the island of Mustique. According to Lady Colin Campbell, Andrew was in love, and the Queen was much taken with the elegant, intelligent, and discreet Koo. However, in 1983 they split up, under pressure from press, paparazzi, and palace. In 1997 Andrew became the godfather of Stark's daughter, and in 2015, when Andrew was facing accusations from Virginia Roberts over the Jeffrey Epstein connection, Stark came to his defense, stating that he was a good man and she could help to rebut the claims. Marriage to Sarah Ferguson. Prince Andrew married Sarah Ferguson at Westminster Abbey on the 23rd of July 1986. The same day, the Queen created him Duke of York, Earl of Inverness, and Baron Killyleagh, all titles previously held by both his maternal great-grandfather and grandfather. Prince Andrew had known Ferguson since childhood. They had met occasionally at polo matches, and became reacquainted with each other at Royal Ascot in 1985. The couple appeared to have a happy marriage and had 2 daughters together, presenting a united outward appearance during the late 1980s. His wife's personal qualities were seen as refreshing in the context of the formal protocols surrounding the royal family. However, the Duke of York's frequent travel due to his military career, as well as relentless, often critical, media attention focused on the Duchess of York, led to fractures in the marriage. On the 19th of March 1992, the couple announced plans to separate and did so in an amicable way. Some months later, pictures appeared in the tabloid media of the Duchess in intimate association with John Bryan, her financial advisor at the time, which effectively ended any hopes of a reconciliation between the Duke and Duchess. The marriage was ended in divorce on the 30th of May 1996. The Duke of York spoke fondly of his former wife. "We have managed to work together to bring our children up in a way that few others have been able to, and I am extremely grateful to be able to do that." The couple agreed to share custody of their 2 daughters, and the Duchess continued to live at the Duke's home, Sunninghill Park, until 2004, when he moved to the Royal Lodge. In 2003, Richard Kay, in his first gossip column for the Daily Mail, asserted that the Duke was about to marry the businesswoman Amanda Staveley. She was reported in the Sunday Telegraph as saying, "I will not be marrying Andrew now, or in the future." In 2007, Sarah, Duchess of York, purchased Dolphin House, a mansion directly beside the Royal Lodge. In 2008, a fire at Dolphin House resulted in Sarah moving into the Royal Lodge, again sharing a house with the Duke of York. Prince Andrew's lease of Royal Lodges, for 75 years, with the Crown Estate as landlord, and there is no annual tenancy charge. In May 2010, Sarah, Duchess of York, was filmed by a News of the World reporter claiming that her former husband had agreed that if she were to receive £500,000, he would meet the donor and pass on useful top-level business contacts. She was filmed receiving, in cash, $40,000 as a down payment. The Duke's entourage emphatically denied he knew of the situation. In July 2011, Sarah stated that her multi-million-pound debts had been cleared due to the intervention of her former husband, whom she compared to a knight on a white charger. Trade, business, activities, and charitable work. From 2001 until July 2011, the Duke of York worked with UK Trade and Investment, part of the Department for Business, Innovation, and Skills, as the United Kingdom's Special Representative for International Trade and Investment. The post, previously held by Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, involved representing and promoting the UK at various trade fairs and conferences around the world. His suitability for the role was challenged in the House of Commons by Shadow Justice Minister Chris Bryant in February 2011, at the time of the 2011 Libyan civil war, on the grounds that he was not only a very close friend of Saif al-Islam Gaddafi, but also a close friend of the convicted Libyan gun smuggler Tariq Khatuni. The Duke is patron of the Middle East Association, the UK's premier organisation for promoting trade and good relations with the Middle East, North Africa, Turkey, and Iran. Since that ended, the Duke continued to support UK enterprise without a special role. Robert Jobson claims he does this work well and wrote, "He is particularly passionate when dealing with young start-up entrepreneurs and bringing them together with successful businesses at networking and showcasing events. Andrew is direct and to the point, and his methods seem to work." The Duke is also patron of Fight for Sight, a charity dedicated to research into the prevention and treatment of blindness and eye disease, and was a member of the Scout Association. He tours Canada frequently to undertake duties related to his Canadian military role. Rick Peters, the former commanding officer of the Royal Highland Fusiliers of Canada, stated that Prince Andrew is very well informed on Canadian military methods. The Duke of York receives a £249,000 annuity from the Queen. The Sunday Times reported in July 2008 that for the Duke of York's public role, he last year received £436,000 to cover his expenses. On the 8th of March 2011, The Daily Telegraph reported, in 2010, the prince spent £620,000 as a trade envoy, including £154,000 on hotels, food and hospitality and £465,000 on travel. On the 3rd of September 2012, the Duke of York was among a team of 40 people who abseiled down the Shard to raise money for educational charities, the Outward Bound Trust and the Royal Marines Charitable Trust Fund. In 2013, it was announced that the Duke was becoming the patron of London Metropolitan University and the University of Huddersfield. In July 2015 he was installed as Chancellor of the University of Huddersfield. He became the patron of the charity at Tend in 2003, and is a member of the International Advisory Board of the Royal United Services Institute. In 2014, the Duke of York founded the Pitchard Palace Initiative to support entrepreneurs with the amplification and acceleration of their business ideas. Entrepreneurs selected for Pitchard Palace Boot Camp are officially invited by the Duke to attend St James Palace in order to pitch their ideas and to be connected with potential investors, mentors and business contacts. Brought to you by Wikividi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?